Hey, welcome to Chat Easy.
Yeah, English without the stress.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Blake and I are at our favorite cafe again, and we need to talk about something that happened this week. Blake, you have to tell them what you said yesterday.
Oh, no. Okay. So, I was talking to my neighbor about my weekend plans, right? And I said something that sounded completely wrong. The look on his face, I knew immediately I made a mistake, but I didn't know how to fix it.
Wait, was it about the word go? Because I made almost the same mistake last week. I was so embarrassed. Everyone thinks go is simple, but then you actually try using it in real conversations, and suddenly it feels impossible.
Yes, exactly that. I told someone I go to the gym yesterday, and he just stared at me like I was speaking another language. The word go appears everywhere in English. We use it all the time, but it changes constantly depending on the situation.
It really does. So today, let's figure this out together. Because when you get go right, your daily English just feels smoother and more natural. Ready?
Let's do this. Okay, let's start with the most common mistake I hear all the time. People mix up present and past, like saying, I go yesterday, instead of I went yesterday. I used to do this constantly, and it always felt awkward.
Yes, that one is so common. Here's the thing. Go is for things happening now or things that happen regularly. Went is for finished actions, things that already ended. The difference is really about time, not difficulty.
So, for example, I go to yoga every Monday. That's regular. It happens all the time. But I went to yoga last Monday. That's one specific time in the past, and it's done. Am I getting that right?
Exactly. Once you see the pattern, it becomes automatic. I promise, I started noticing it more when I just listened to how other people spoke in casual settings, like here in coffee shops or at the grocery store. You hear the rhythm after a while.
I do the same thing. I listen to strangers' conversations sometimes just to hear how they use certain words. Okay, but what about goes? That one confuses people too, right?
Oh, definitely. Goes appears when you're talking about he, she, it, or any single person, like my brother goes to university in another city, or the bus goes directly to the airport. It's that little S at the end that changes everything.
Right, and this is one of those rules that feels so unnatural at first. Many languages don't add an S for third person. My friend from Spain kept saying he go for months before it finally clicked. She was so frustrated with herself.
I totally understand that frustration. Repetition is honestly the only real cure. I used to write sentences over and over just to build the habit. It felt silly, but it worked.
Okay, now I need to ask you about gone. This one still tricks me sometimes. When do we actually use it?
Good question. Gone appears after has or have, and it describes something that happened at an unclear time, or something that still matters now. For example, I have gone to that restaurant before. The exact day doesn't matter, just that the experience exists.
So it's not about when exactly, just that the experience exists. Like the timing is vague, but the fact is clear.
Yes, exactly. This form is really useful when the specific day or time isn't important. You also hear people say, she has gone to the store, meaning she left and she's not here right now. That particular use shows current relevance.
Okay, that makes sense. But I have to ask, why does English need so many forms for one little word? It feels like a lot of work for something so basic.
I've asked myself that same question so many times. Maybe each form carries a different feeling or level of detail. like they each do something specific that the others can't quite do.
That actually makes sense. Go feels open and ongoing. Went feels finished and clear. Goes feels like a fact about someone. And gone feels connected to now, even if it happened before. Does that sound right?
Blake, you just summarized the whole thing perfectly. That's exactly it.
Okay, but now I'm thinking about something else that confuses me. Phrases like go shopping, go swimming, go running. Why don't people just say shop, swim, or run? What's the difference?
I wondered the same thing for years. Here's what I figured out. Go plus ing describes the activity as an experience or event, not just the action itself. It gives it more context, more life.
Wait, let me test that. I swim versus I go swimming. The first one sounds like a skill or a general truth. The second one sounds like a plan or a hobby. Is that what you mean?
Yes, exactly that. My coworker always says, "Let's go hiking this weekend," and now I understand why it sounds more inviting than just "let's hike." It feels like an event, something you prepare for and enjoy.
Oh, I love that. And this pattern works for almost any activity, right? Go dancing, go skiing, go bowling. I never realized how flexible this structure is.
It really is. But there's another tricky area I want to mention. Go to versus go for. I sometimes hesitate between them, even now.
Okay, what's the difference?
Go to usually points to a place, like go to the park or go to a meeting. Go for often describes the purpose or type of activity, like go for a walk or go for coffee.
Let me try. I'm going to the doctor versus I'm going for a checkup. The first is about the location, the second is about the reason, right?
Exactly. You're getting so good at this. It's one of those things native speakers do automatically, but learners have to decode piece by piece.
Okay, I want to pause for a second and ask everyone watching something. When you use go in a sentence, do you think about the form first, or do you just say it and hope it's right? We're genuinely curious. Comment below.
I still sometimes think about it, even now. It's not always automatic for me.
Same here, and that's completely normal, right? We're all just figuring it out as we go.
Absolutely. Oh, and there's one more thing I want to bring up. Questions with go. Forming questions often flips the word order, and that trips people up.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Do you go to the gym versus you go to the gym? The first one sounds like a real question. The second sounds like surprise or disbelief.
Oh, I hear that difference. So in questions, do, does, or did usually appears first, then the base form go. Like, did you go to the party?
Exactly. Even though it seems small, this structure really matters for clarity. You can also hear people say, "you went to the party," with rising intonation, and it works in casual speech, but the did version sounds more polished.
Yeah, both are understandable, but one follows the textbook pattern. I think I get it now.
Good, because go is absolutely everywhere, and getting comfortable with it makes everyday English feel so much less stressful.
Totally agree. Once the forms click, they stop feeling like separate rules. They start feeling like one flexible tool you can use however you need.
Okay, before we move on, let's quickly review some key words and phrases that appeared in our conversation, just to make sure everything is clear. Blake, you ready?
Yes, let's keep it simple and practical. These words came up naturally, so they're worth talking about.
Perfect. Let's start with routine. A routine is something you do regularly, like a habit or schedule. For example, my morning routine includes coffee and a short walk. Routines create structure in daily life, and honestly, they make everything feel more manageable.
I love that word. Next one, hesitate. It means to pause or feel unsure before doing something, like I hesitate before speaking in meetings because I want to sound clear. And hesitation is completely normal when you're learning a new language. Everyone does it.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about pattern. A pattern is something that repeats in a predictable way. Once I noticed the pattern in verb forms, grammar became so much easier. Recognizing patterns saves a lot of mental energy.
Yes, and that leads to the next word, automatic. It describes something you do without thinking. Like, after practice, using the right verb form becomes automatic. That's the goal for everyone, right? To stop overthinking and just speak.
Exactly. Okay, here's another useful one. Relevance. Relevance means connection or importance to the current situation. For example, the story has relevance to our conversation today. Understanding relevance helps you decide which details actually matter.
Good one. Now, flexible. Flexible means able to change or adapt easily. Like the word go is flexible because it works in many different situations. Flexibility is such a useful feature in language. It means you have options.
I agree. Next is clarity. Clarity means being easy to understand. Speaking with clarity helps people follow your ideas. And honestly, clarity is way more important than perfection. People just want to understand you.
So true. Okay, what about decode? It means to figure out the meaning of something. Like, I had to decode the sentence before I understood it. Decoding is definitely part of the learning process. It takes time, but you get faster at it.
Yes, absolutely. Now let's look at structure. Structure is the way something is organized or built. Sentence structure in English follows specific rules. Understanding structure makes grammar feel less random and more logical.
Perfect. And here's one I like, polished. Polished means refined or well prepared. For example, her English sounds polished because she practices often. Polished speech comes with time and exposure. You can't rush it, but it definitely happens.
So true. Okay, frozen. In this context, it means suddenly unable to move or speak. Like, I froze when someone asked me a question in English. I want everyone to know that freezing happens to all of us sometimes. It's not a failure.
Thank you for saying that. Next, inviting. It means welcoming or appealing. For example, let's go for coffee sounds more inviting than let's drink coffee. Small word choices really change the feeling of what you're saying.
They really do. And finally, stress, as in mental stress. It means pressure or worry. Learning grammar can create stress, but it gets easier. Reducing stress makes learning so much more enjoyable. You absorb things better when you're relaxed.
Definitely. So these words showed up naturally in our conversation, and now they're clearer. That's how vocabulary works best, right? You see it in context, not in a list.
Exactly. Vocabulary builds slowly through real use. And the more you hear these words in different situations, the more comfortable they become.
Okay, so where would someone actually use these different forms of go in real life? Like, when does this stuff actually matter?
Probably everywhere. Texting friends, making plans, explaining where you were, talking about your habits. It shows up constantly. You don't even notice it until you really pay attention.
Right, even small daily interactions require it. Imagine someone at a new job getting asked, "Do you go to the team lunches?" You need to answer clearly and quickly. That's a real moment.
Exactly. And being able to respond smoothly in that moment builds so much confidence. You feel capable, like you belong there. Or picture this, calling to reschedule an appointment and saying, I went to the wrong location yesterday. Can I come today instead?
Yes, that kind of clarity prevents confusion and saves everyone time. People appreciate it when you communicate clearly, even if your accent is different or your grammar isn't perfect.
Absolutely. What about texting a friend about weekend plans? That happens all the time, right?
Oh, definitely. It might look like, want to go hiking on Saturday? Or I'm going to a concert tomorrow night. Those sound natural and easy once you get used to them.
They really do. And people also write things like, I have gone there before, it's nice, when they're recommending a place. That form shows you have experience without needing to explain exactly when you went.
I love that. Okay, imagine someone at a party meeting new people. What would they say?
They might ask, do you go to this gym? Or say, I go to yoga classes near here. These questions open conversations. They help people find common ground, you know? Like, oh, we both go to the same coffee shop.
Yes, small talk often starts with go because it's about routines, hobbies, and plans. And being comfortable with go makes socializing feel way less intimidating. You're not stuck in your head worrying about the grammar.
Exactly. What about travel situations? I think those are interesting.
Oh, good one. Okay, imagine someone asking a hotel worker, does this bus go to the city center? That's such a clear, practical question.
Perfect example of real-world clarity. And travelers also say things like, I went to the museum this morning and I'm going to the market this afternoon. Organizing your day out loud helps you feel more in control, especially when you're in a new place.
I totally agree. Okay, I want everyone watching to picture a moment when you needed to explain your plans or past actions in English. Maybe it was at work, maybe it was with a neighbor, maybe it was online.
Did you feel ready or did you hesitate? There's no wrong answer here. Every experience teaches you something, even the awkward ones.
Especially the awkward ones. Think about one situation where using go correctly would have made things smoother. Just one. What was it?
And even imagining those moments builds readiness for the next real one. You're training your brain without even realizing it. It's like mental practice.
I love that. Because language isn't just about rules. It's about moving through the world with a little more ease. It's about feeling capable when you talk to someone new or when you need to explain something important.
Exactly. And when the words come naturally, you stop thinking about grammar. You start thinking about connection instead. Okay, we covered a lot about one small word, but honestly, it feels good to break it down like this, doesn't it?
It really does. Go shows up everywhere, and hopefully now it feels a little less mysterious, like you can see the logic behind it instead of just guessing every time.
Exactly. So let's quickly recap. Go is for present or habitual actions. Went is for finished past actions. Goes is for he, she, it. And gone is for experiences connected to now. Each form has a job, and once you see the pattern, it stops feeling random.
Yes, and we also talked about the go plus ing pattern. It turns actions into experiences, like go swimming or go shopping. That small shift makes plans sound way more natural and inviting.
Right. And then there's go to versus go for. One points to a place, the other describes a purpose. Both are useful, and context usually makes the choice pretty clear.
Okay, but I want to say something important. Hesitation is completely normal. Even people who speak English every day sometimes pause before choosing the right form. It happens to everyone.
Absolutely. Fluency isn't about perfection, it's about clarity and confidence. Every conversation, every text message, every question at a cafe, that's all practice. You're building the skill whether you realize it or not.
Yes, and the more you use these forms in real situations, the more automatic they become. It's like riding a bike. At first, you're thinking about every movement. Then one day, you're just riding.
I love that comparison. And here's something I want everyone to remember. You already handle complex situations in your own language every single day. You explain things, you make plans, you ask questions. Navigating a conversation in English is the same skill, just in different words.
Exactly. If you can explain your weekend, make a plan, or ask a question, you're already using the tools. You just need a little more time to feel comfortable with them.
Trust builds with repetition. The next time someone asks about your day, you'll answer without thinking twice.
And that feeling? That's when you know it's working. Okay, I have a question for everyone watching. Zara, I think you'll like this one too.
Now I'm curious. What is it?
What is one place you go regularly that makes you feel good? It could be a park, a cafe, a gym, a library, someone's home. Where is it, and why does it matter to you?
Oh, I love this question. Everyone has a place like that. It doesn't have to be fancy or special to anyone else. It just has to mean something to you.
Exactly, and we want to hear about it. Write your answer in the comments using the word go in any form. It could be as simple as, I go to the beach every Sunday because it clears my mind. Or, I went to my friend's house last night and felt so relaxed.
There's no right or wrong answer, just your truth. And honestly, sharing these small pieces of life helps everyone feel a little more connected. We read every comment, and it always makes our day.
It really does. Oh, and if you want more conversations like this, please subscribe. It helps us so much, and it lets us know what's actually useful for you.
Yes, and that leads to the next word, automatic. It describes something you do without thinking. Like, after practice, using the right verb form becomes automatic. That's the goal for everyone, right? To stop overthinking and just speak.
Exactly. Okay, here's another useful one. Relevance. Relevance means connection or importance to the current situation. For example, the story has relevance to our conversation today. Understanding relevance helps you decide which details actually matter.
Good one. Now, flexible. Flexible means able to change or adapt easily. Like, the word go is flexible because it works in many different situations. Flexibility is such a useful feature in language. It means you have options.
I agree. Next is clarity. Clarity means being easy to understand. Speaking with clarity helps people follow your ideas. And honestly, clarity is way more important than perfection. People just want to understand you.
So true. Okay, what about decode? It means to figure out the meaning of something. Like, I had to decode the sentence before I understood it. Decoding is definitely part of the learning process. It takes time, but you get faster at it.
Yes, absolutely. Now let's look at structure. Structure is the way something is organized or built. Sentence structure in English follows specific rules. Understanding structure makes grammar feel less random and more logical.
Perfect. And here's one I like, polished. Polished means refined or well prepared. For example, her English sounds polished because she practices often. Polished speech comes with time and exposure. You can't rush it, but it definitely happens.
So true. Okay, frozen. In this context, it means suddenly unable to move or speak. Like, I froze when someone asked me a question in English. I want everyone to know that freezing happens to all of us sometimes. It's not a failure.
Thank you for saying that. Next, inviting. It means welcoming or appealing. For example, let's go for coffee sounds more inviting than let's drink coffee. Small word choices really change the feeling of what you're saying.
They really do. And finally, stress, as in mental stress. It means pressure or worry. Learning grammar can create stress, but it gets easier. Reducing stress makes learning so much more enjoyable. You absorb things better when you're relaxed.
Definitely. So these words showed up naturally in our conversation, and now they're clearer. That's how vocabulary works best, right? You see it in context, not in a list.
Exactly. Vocabulary builds slowly through real use. And the more you hear these words in different situations, the more comfortable they become.
Okay, so where would someone actually use these different forms of go in real life? Like, when does this stuff actually matter?
Probably everywhere. Texting friends, making plans, explaining where you were, talking about your habits. It shows up constantly. You don't even notice it until you really pay attention.